Hello and welcome to Harris Farms. Now this is my groundnut farm, and as you can see, I've started the weeding process and I have a lot of weeds, as you can see in this groundnut. So I want to explain the impact that weed has on groundnuts, because they actually have a lot of negative impact when it comes to the growth performance and yield of groundnut plants. So first of all, weeds are unwanted plants that grow in an area that we do not need them. So what happens is that they compete a lot with groundnut in terms of resources such as nutrients. You talk about air, and then you talk about spaces. So they compete negatively with the groundnut plant for these resources. Also, weeds can produce chemicals that might impact the growth performance of groundnut, leading to reduced yield of that particular crop. Another thing is that weeds can also inhabit pests and diseases that might affect the growth performance of groundnut and also reduce the quality of the yield. Now, when you have a lot of grasses in the groundnut, such as this one cell that you are seeing, you find out that when you come to harvest the groundnuts cannot be harvested well. Why? Because some of the groundnuts will remain in the soil, and that might result to contamination of the groundnut pods that might be taken to the markets or that might be processed or so forth. Now, weeds can also inhibit pests, as I said. Pests like rodents, you talk about squirrels, you talk about rats, and this might eat up the pods of the groundnut pods, that is the yield component of the groundnut. Another impact that weed has on plant is that it increases your cost of production, because controlling weeds is very difficult. Sometimes you might have to weed twice or even thrice, as the case might be, and that leads to what? Increased in your production of farming, because you have to pay laborers so that they can weed these grasses. And also, weeds, lastly, impacts your yield, because it reduces the yield of the crop that you plant, especially groundnuts. And these weeds can also destroy the soil structure, as I told you, because some weeds can produce roots that goes deep down into the soil, extensively into the soil, and affects the roots of the groundnut plants, and also leading to poor yield of the groundnut. So as I was saying, let me explain some of the benefits of weeding on groundnut plants. Now, the first benefit is that it increases the yield of the crop, because groundnuts produces branches, and it is those branches that produces flowers, and those flowers, when they drop, they form roots, and these roots enters or penetrates the soil and they form pods. So when you weed a groundnut, that helps to increase the yield component of the crop. Another thing that weeding does is that it eliminates competition with the crop, because when you weed, you remove the unwanted plants, and so there's no competition with the crop that you've planted, especially groundnut. So that makes the groundnut to grow very well and performs very effectively. Weeding enhances better harvesting efficiency. That is, when the groundnut has been weeded, you find out that when it is already ready to be harvested, you can easily harvest it without finding it difficult or having challenges, because the harvest efficiency increases as a result of no weeds being in a crop. Effective weeding can also reduce the use of inputs, pesticides like herbicides, using chemicals to control weeds and everything. As long as you are weeding effectively your garden, it reduces that, and that helps to reduce your cost of production, as you won't have to buy these chemicals to use them on the plant. Weeding also increases the quality of the crop produce, such as the pods of the groundnut. It increases the quality of it, because there won't be rodents to eat up the pods or eat some of the pods and then leave some of them over, or there might not be diseases that may affect the crop and reduce its quality. So these are some of the benefits that weeding has when it comes to groundnut plant. Now, so the most important aspect of weeding groundnuts, especially weeding on time, because when you've planted the groundnut, you should weed it when it has taken a month and a half from the date of planting. So it produces flowers 3 times. When the first flower shall have dropped, then you can weed it, so that when the second flowers comes up, then there will be tendency for those flowers to form roots and those roots to penetrate the soil. So let's look at this groundnut here. Now, this groundnut has been weeded. It had already flowered before. As you can see, these are the second flowers here. It is these flowers that will turn into roots, and then these flowers will drop, and these will enter into the soil, and then they will form groundnuts. So groundnut pods. So when we are weeding groundnuts, we tend to break the branches. We step on the branches so that they lay to the ground. Now let's look at these. You see, these branches were dropped to the ground. We stepped on them and we broke them to the ground, so that these roots, you see, there were flowers here. These are roots. These roots has to penetrate the soil so that they can form groundnuts. But if they are just standing erect like this, as they are growing, competing with weeds, you find out that these roots won't be able to reach the ground, that is the soil, and they won't be able to penetrate it and form groundnuts. So you see, these are roots, extended roots that were formed from flowers, and this one was already in the soil. I just took it out so that you can see. This is a groundnut pod that has started forming. So this one enters into the soil because the branches has been laid down. You see, there are so many roots. These ones have started entering the soil. You see these ones. You see these ones. Some are already in the soil here. You find out that all of these ones. So when you come to harvest, you find out that when you uproot one of these groundnuts, you see so many pods, because all of these roots are going to enter into the soil and they are going to form pods. So that is why you weed groundnuts on time. And whilst weeding, you should step on the branches or break the branches so that they can lay to the ground, so that when the flowers when they form flowers, those flowers can have the tendency to enter into the soil, because the purpose of farming is to maximize our profit, because it is a business, and to produce more food to feed the population that we have. This is Harris Farms. Do not forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, click on the notification bell for new videos, follow our page on Facebook at Harris Farms, and also our TikTok account at Harris Farms 24 for more important videos on continuous farming routines. Harris Farms, all the best.